It's Alex Pereira's fight week again. Seems like I said the same thing last week and the week before that, but here we are. He's fighting Khalil Rountree in a fight that's been controversial, to say the least. Majority of the fans, they seem to think that Khalil shouldn't get this fight. He doesn't deserve it. He should have had to fight somebody else. And that Pereira also should have had to fight somebody else, like Ankalaev. But here we are. And when you look at the fight, when you look at the details of this fight, at the matchup, you realize that it makes sense that they went for Khalil Rountree. Because first of all, even if they went for Ankalaev, he's the one who denied it because he wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. So apart from Ankalaev, Khalil Rountree was really the next best option. Because the one thing that's the most relevant about this matchup is the one thing that I haven't seen anyone talk about for the whole build up to this fight. The fact that Khalil Rountree is from Utah. I mean, he's not from there, but he grew up there, a part of his childhood, went to school there. So it only makes sense that it would go for him instead of somebody else. Like, I don't know, who else would it have been? I mean, Rakic is coming off a loss. Yiri is coming off 2 losses to Alex Pereira. Jamal Hill, well, I mean, you know what happened. Ankalaev doesn't want it unless it's in Abu Dhabi. And then you have this next guy that is potentially the most exciting contender in the division, who's also from that place you're trying to go, and he's ready to fight. So why not go for him? And for people hating on it, just remember that a month ago, we didn't even have a main event for this card, and everybody was looking at like the potential matchups and thinking that this was gonna suck. Like, who was available? If it was not gonna be Alex Pereira stepping up yet again, who was it gonna be? Bilal Muhammad was not fighting. It was gonna be a Pantoja main event. It was going to be a Pantoja main event. So when they went for Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree, who is a local from there, it just made perfect sense. Because like Dana White said, the first rule of promoting a fight, of putting an event together, is when you go to a city, a new market, a new place, you have to put a guy from that place. Like when he went to Texas, he always tries to put Derek Lewis on the card because you have to put a hometown hero. And that's what he did. And please, turn off your brain for a minute. Just look at this fight objectively. Tell me that this was not one of the most entertaining fights in the light heavyweight division that he could have potentially put together. Tell me that you would have rather seen Alex Pereira versus Rakic. Tell me that you would have rather seen Alex Pereira versus Jan Blachowicz rematch. You're lying. Khalil Rountree and Pereira are gonna have one of the... I mean, either is gonna be finished in a round, less than a round, or they're gonna have a scrap. None of these guys come to play. These guys come to kill. And now people are already trying to say that, oh, Alex is being protected by the UFC. Alex is being protected by the UFC. They don't want to give him a real contender. I mean, he's cleaned out the division already. Look at the last 4 champions or 3 champions apart from Glover, who is his coach. He beat the last 3 champions of this division. That is a crazy stat. He beat Jamal, who was champion. He beat Yiri, who was champion. And he beat Jan Blachowicz, who was champion. The last 3 champions of his division, apart from Glover, his coach, he beat them. So now he gets Khalil Rountree, and people are saying that he's protected. He's being protected. I mean, Izzy fought Cannonier and Vittori as title defenses. Alex Volkanovski fought Korean Zombie as a title defense. Daniel Cormier fought Derek Lewis as a title defense, and Ozdemir as a title defense. Like, what are we talking about here? Khalil Rountree, yeah, Khalil Rountree is definitely a better title defense than Vittori or Derek Lewis, Ozdemir, and all that stuff. Like, just look at Kamaru Usman, who was given Masvidal 2, or O'Malley, who was given Chito Vera. So when you look at the history of title defense for champions, it's not the first time that they had to put a title defense on the fly, just last minute. And to be honest, for a last minute title defense, I think this is as good as it's gonna get, because Khalil Rountree, he poses a danger, he's entertaining, he's a fighter, you know. I don't think Alex Pereira is just gonna run through him. He definitely poses a threat. And even if he loses to Alex Pereira, I'm not gonna be surprised to see him rise in the rankings and beat a Jamal Hill or beat a Rakic. And I think Khalil Rountree is a top 5 worthy opponent. He's just not there yet, but I think skill-wise, he's definitely there. So I'm very surprised to see people act like this fight is a step up, but not a step up, but like a layup for Alex Pereira to get a free win, when even recently we've had way worse title defense than that. Like, we've had way worse title fights than this one. Like, Khalil is on a 5-fight win streak with finishes, and he's ranked, he's in the top 10, and he's marketable. He's been on Joe Rogan. He was like on a, even sport-wise and business-wise, he was the best option. Like, who was it going to be? If it was not going to be Ankalaev, who did people want for Pereira? They wanted heavyweight. Well, it's not going to happen because heavyweight is already log jammed. So what was it going to be? What was it going to be? Were we going to wait for Ankalaev, who fights once a year, and now he's fighting in Abu Dhabi, and we're probably going to have to wait for next October for Ankalaev to fight in the US? No, because Ankalaev wants his title fight in the UAE, and he said it. He literally, you can look at his Twitter and it's in his X. It's quotable. You can find it. So yeah, I'm not too mad at it because for me personally, this title defense has more weight than like I keep repeating it. I keep using it as an example, but like as a Vettori. Like when Adesanya fought Vettori, I didn't see people say that it was an easy defense. Nah, the division, he's cleaned up the division already, and Khalil stepped up. Alex Pereira fought, like, I mean, that's his 4th fight this year already. Like, he's defending his titles for the 3rd time in less than a year. So if he wants to fight and this guy is ready to step up, he's an impressive guy with an impressive streak, and he wants to fight, he wants to step up in his hometown, maybe not his hometown like where he's born, but the place he's from, that he grew up in, that they can use him to market this fight, they can use him to fill out the arena, even though I don't think Alex Pereira would need it, but still, he's a hometown hero. He's the face on the poster in his hometown. So of course they're gonna go for him, and he's a legit contender. But I do agree that after this fight, it should be Ankalaev. Like, if Alex Pereira beats Khalil Rountree, if Khalil Rountree beats Alex Pereira, it's gonna be a rematch. There's no way that they don't give Alex Pereira a rematch. He stepped up for the company. He's on his 3rd title defense. He's a 2-division champion. He's the biggest star in the UFC. If Khalil managed to pull this off, he's 100% getting a rematch. But if Alex Pereira beats Khalil Rountree, his next fight should be Ankalaev. And if he needs to wait a little bit for Ankalaev to, I don't know, if they need to maybe negotiate a time, and maybe Alex Pereira wants to come back in February, but Ankalaev just wants to come back in April, I think he should wait for Ankalaev to some degree, if it's not too long. Because this is the fight to make. And after this, if Pereira gets past Ankalaev, I think he's right there behind John Jones in light heavyweight GOAT status. I think he's a greater light heavyweight than DC. I think he's a greater light heavyweight than Chuck Liddell, whatever. I think really if Alex Pereira beats Khalil and then beats Ankalaev, he's right behind John Jones in the rankings. And after that, I mean, what could he even do? He could go boxing if he wants. He could, in the meantime, maybe Aspinall has been promoted to undisputed and he's looking for a fight. Maybe maybe he defended against Gon again, and then he doesn't really have a clear contender, so Pereira moves up. Or yeah, like I said, he goes boxing because now Dana White is talking about going to boxing. Yeah, like if he beats Ankalaev and Rountree, Pereira, like the world is open to him. But yeah, in my opinion, it makes perfect sense that they went for Rountree in this fight. I think it was the best option, and I'm more happy that we get an Alex Pereira versus Rountree than no Alex Pereira at all. And I think if they really wanted to do some Fugazi stuff, and they really wanted to put like a fight just for Alex Pereira to win, they would have done Anthony Smith versus Alex Pereira. They would have done that if they really wanted just an easy fight for Pereira. Rountree is the number 8 guy on a 5-fight win streak. The clear number 1 contender did not want the fight right now at that time, so they went for him. He's from there. He's marketable. He went on Joe Rogan and he has like a big name, a big story. People know his name now. They know his story. He has like a social media presence. Like, this guy beats people like he owes them money. He has edits of him. There's edits of him on TikTok and Instagram. Like, he was the clear next guy. Like, I did not want to see the Jamal Hill rematch. I did not want to see that. So if Ankalaev was not there, Rountree was the one I wanted, and he's from there. That's his hometown, so it makes perfect sense. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there was another contender that I forgot his name, and it should have been him instead of Rountree. Or maybe you have a special reason to not want Rountree to get this fight. Maybe because he's in a cult or something. But you guys let me know. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you soon.